On April 26, 1986, the world watched in horror as disaster unfolded in the sleepy town of Pripyat, Ukraine. The Chernobyl nuclear power plant, a symbol of Soviet progress, became synonymous with catastrophe. A flawed reactor design and a series of human errors led to an explosion that ripped through Reactor 4, releasing a plume of radioactive material into the atmosphere. This event, the world's worst nuclear accident, forever changed the landscape of Pripyat and the surrounding areas. Today, Chernobyl stands as a stark reminder of the devastating power of nuclear energy unleashed. The surrounding area, known as the Chernobyl exclusion zone, is a haunting testament to the destructive force of the disaster. What was once a bustling community is now a ghost town, frozen in time. Buildings stand empty, reclaimed by nature. The silence is broken only by the wind whistling through broken windows and the rustling of leaves as wildlife reclaims its domain. This is Chernobyl, a cautionary tale etched in radiation, a stark reminder of the delicate balance between technological advancement and human responsibility. The events leading to the Chernobyl disaster began with a seemingly routine safety test. Engineers planned to simulate a power failure to determine how long the reactor's turbines could continue generating electricity in the event of an emergency. However, a fatal flaw in the reactor's design, coupled with a series of operational errors, set the stage for disaster. The RBMK-1000 reactor, common in Soviet-era power plants, lacked a crucial safety feature, a containment structure. This structure, standard in many other reactor designs, is designed to prevent the release of radioactive material in the event of an accident. The test commenced, but a combination of operator error and design flaws led to an unexpected power surge. The reactor's power output soared beyond its limits. This surge triggered a chain reaction, leading to a catastrophic explosion that ripped apart the reactor core. The force of the explosion blew the reactor's heavy steel and concrete lid off, sending a plume of radioactive material high into the atmosphere. The world watched in disbelief as news of the disaster spread, and the true extent of the catastrophe slowly came to light. In the aftermath of the Chernobyl disaster, the exclusion zone became a desolate wasteland. The high levels of radiation forced the evacuation of nearby towns and villages, leaving behind a haunting tableau of abandoned homes, schools, and businesses. However, amidst the desolation, a remarkable transformation began to unfold. Nature, in its resilience, began to reclaim the abandoned landscape. With the absence of human interference, plant and animal life returned to the exclusion zone. Forests have regrown, reclaiming the abandoned streets and buildings. Wildlife, once scarce, has flourished in the absence of human activity. Populations of wolves, deer, boar, and other animals have rebounded, their numbers exceeding those present before the disaster. Even endangered species, such as the Przewalski's horse, have found refuge in the zone. The Chernobyl exclusion zone, once a symbol of human-caused disaster, has become an unexpected haven for wildlife, a testament to nature's ability to adapt and thrive even in the face of adversity. As the reactor exploded, a blinding flash lit up the night sky over Pripyat. A wave of heat and pressure swept outward, followed by a deafening roar. The force of the explosion shook the ground for miles around, shattering windows and collapsing roofs. First responders, firefighters from the nearby town of Pripyat, were immediately dispatched to the scene. Unaware of the invisible danger they faced, they bravely battled the blaze, their heroic efforts preventing further explosions and limiting the spread of the fire. However, their bravery came at a terrible cost. Exposed to lethal doses of radiation, many of these first responders suffered acute radiation sickness and died in the weeks and months that followed. Their sacrifice, however, helped to contain the disaster and prevent an even greater catastrophe. As the true extent of the disaster became clear, authorities made the difficult decision to evacuate the nearby town of Pripyat. Residents were given just hours to pack their belongings and board buses, leaving behind their homes and lives. They were told it would be temporary, but little did they know they would never return. Section 5. Echoes of Chernobyl. A legacy of change and caution. The Chernobyl disaster sent shockwaves around the world. It exposed the potential dangers of nuclear power when safety protocols are ignored or compromised. In the wake of the disaster, the international community came together to address the safety concerns surrounding nuclear energy. The International Atomic Energy Agency, or IAEA, strengthened international safety standards for nuclear power plants. Countries around the world reviewed and in many cases upgraded their own nuclear safety protocols. The disaster also led to increased international cooperation in the field of nuclear safety, fostering a shared commitment to preventing future accidents. Chernobyl served as a stark reminder of the importance of transparency and open communication in the event of a nuclear incident. The Soviet Union's initial secrecy and attempts to downplay the severity of the disaster only amplified the fear and uncertainty surrounding the event. Section 6. The Zone of Alienation, a glimpse into a ghostly world. 30 years after the disaster, the Chernobyl exclusion zone remains a haunting and surreal place. The town of Pripyat stands frozen in time, a ghostly reminder of the lives interrupted on that fateful day. Apartment buildings once home to thousands now stand empty. Schools with desks still cluttered with books and children's drawings evoke a sense of eerie stillness. The amusement park, its Ferris wheel a haunting symbol of the abandoned city, was never used. It was scheduled to open just days after the disaster. Today, the exclusion zone is a popular destination for tourists seeking a glimpse into this eerie time capsule. Guided tours offer a glimpse into the abandoned city, allowing visitors to witness the long-lasting impact of the disaster and reflect on the human cost of technological failure. Section 7. Whispers of the Past. Stories from the Exclusion Zone. While the exclusion zone remains largely uninhabited, a small number of people have returned to their homes in the surrounding villages. Known as Samosli, these self-settlers, mostly elderly residents, defied evacuation orders, choosing to remain on the land they had always called home. Their stories offer a poignant glimpse into the resilience of the human spirit and the deep connection to one's roots. Despite the risks, they continue to live out their days in the shadow of the disaster, tending to their gardens and preserving the memory of their lost communities. Scientists and researchers also frequent the exclusion zone, studying the long-term effects of radiation on the environment and wildlife. Their work provides valuable insights into the ecological recovery of the area and the ongoing impact of the disaster. Section 8. Lessons etched in radiation. Chernobyl's warning to the world. Chernobyl stands as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of human error, design flaws, and a disregard for safety protocols. The disaster highlighted the importance of a strong safety culture in the nuclear industry, one that prioritizes vigilance, transparency, and a commitment to learning from mistakes. The lessons learned from Chernobyl extend beyond the nuclear industry, serving as a cautionary tale for any field that involves potentially hazardous technologies. The disaster underscored the importance of rigorous safety standards, independent oversight, and a culture of accountability. Furthermore, Chernobyl highlighted the global nature of nuclear risks. The radioactive fallout from the disaster did not respect national borders, underscoring the need for international cooperation in addressing nuclear safety concerns. Section 9. Our Nuclear Future Balancing Progress with Responsibility. In the decades since Chernobyl, the debate surrounding nuclear power has continued. Proponents highlight its potential as a low-carbon energy source, capable of meeting the world's growing energy demands without contributing to climate change. Opponents point to the risks associated with nuclear power as evidenced by Chernobyl and other nuclear accidents, and advocate for renewable energy sources as safer and more sustainable alternatives. As we look to the future, the lessons of Chernobyl remain as relevant as ever. Balancing the need for energy with the imperative of safety requires a commitment to rigorous safety standards, continuous technological advancements, and international collaboration. The future of nuclear power, like the ruins of Chernobyl, serves as a constant reminder of the importance of responsible stewardship of powerful technologies.